You're listening to No Early GGs.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to episode 78 of the No Early GG's FPL Draft Podcast. And I am no longer alone. Our chief scout Noah is back from California, right?
Yes, sir.
And how are you doing after you stole that last win from your brother?
It has been a great few weeks for my squad, I must admit. Had to squeak through a few, but I'm riding high right now. I think I'm in, wow, I didn't even look up what place I'm in. I think I'm in fourth.
Yeah, yeah,
Tied, actually. I'm tied for third. We're gonna
yeah.
go. So doing great. Thanks for asking, Cam. It's great to be back.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about the 2 game weeks ago, but you can feel free to talk through your team for game week. What was that, 27?
27, yes. Yeah. Okay, so I will talk about my team in game week 27, but I don't think we should deprive our listeners of what happened in the inter podcast derby a
Mm.
few weeks ago. So, because you introed it, Cam and I faced off in game week 26, and once again, I was the winner.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What
Uh,
is the head to head? I don't even know. I think you are winning it though.
I don't think I am, but I wanted to say that just for the headline. But it was kind of a crazy week. I won't get too much into it, but I think I will. I beat Cam 35 to 34.
Oh
And
yeah.
yes, I had a full team, and Cam only had 8 players. But it doesn't matter because all that matters is it came away with a W, and it came down to the last game. So everyone in
Yeah.
the group was making sure I won, putting all the support behind me, and that support helped out. So the fans are important. But moving on, my team crushed it last week, 45 points, not great. Not the best, but still pretty good. Just noticing Chilwell is out with an unknown return date.
Yep.
So we'll be updating that waiver. Other than that, Gabrielle, 6 points, just a clean sheet. Rashford scored, which was great, and yellow flags. Good to find out. And then who really took it home for me were my forwards. Carlton Morris on my team from loan from Cam. I'm probably going to make that transfer permanent though. And then Isak also scored and got 2 bonus. So very happy with how my team did the past 2 weeks.
Yeah. And it's yeah, you guys are flying. I sorry, I'm distracted because I was trying to remember if we've made a single trade this year, and I think the answer is no.
That
Like
is correct.
that
Zero trade.
is that is wild.
The thing is, in our league, we're all, pretty good friends from high school, and no one trusts each other.
There's always something. There's always something going on.
And everyone's afraid to be on the losing end of the deal. And
Yeah,
there's
they
always
would.
going to be someone. So,
Yeah, they would hear it. Um,
one last thing. Sorry. We are exploring a clause to add in the rules for next year that everyone has to conduct at least one trade.
mm.
I just thought of that.
What
So,
is what is the penalty though? Because I feel like you could freeze someone out and they would get screwed.
ooh. All right. See, that's those little details and logistics we haven't gone into yet. We'll be workshopping those in the next commissioners meeting.
All right, I look forward to the update. All right, my team did bounce back after losing to Noah. I picked up Kirkej from Bournemouth, who got a clean sheet. Botman finally got another clean sheet. I think it was like 10 weeks or 8 weeks without one, which is crazy for Newcastle. And Kelleher also got 9 with Gusto and Jackson combining again. So I don't know. Good bounce back. I'm very interested to see how we play this week, especially with Salah back against City. But let's get into the content for this week. I do want to mention right away, if you have not noticed, there are only 8 teams playing next game week rather. That would be Burnley versus Brentford, Luton versus Forest, Fulham versus Spurs, and West Ham versus Villa. So those players are extremely valuable. And we will be going through my defensive rankings, and Noah will be giving his input on whether or not my picks are stupid. But there will be some weight there, I think. Like waiver decisions this week might have to be impacted by how many players you can actually field in the next game week. And with that being said, let's jump right into those defensive rankings now, unless you had anything to add on the next game week, because I'm very annoyed at the schedule, but it's whatever.
Yeah. So game week 29 is when 8 teams are playing.
Yes, that is correct.
Clear. So yeah, we got one more game week, normal slate. And then I was at least hoping that it would be like midweek where we get these 4 matches, but it is not. So yep, that's all I had to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a boring weekend next weekend. Anyways, it's funny you mentioned normal game week because it is not that for 2 teams. That would be Bournemouth and Luton. They both have 2 games this week.
That's right.
So those players, they play on Wednesday, pretty valuable. With that being said, defensive rankings, I have Bournemouth at number 1. Don't know what your thoughts are on that, but they play Sheffield and Luton at home, and I think that is a very good double for them. In terms of specific players, I believe, did you pick up a Bournemouth defender? The ones that I have are Zabarni is probably number 1. Adam Smith is number 2. Senesi would normally be number 1 for me in this ranking, but he got injured. I don't know if you noticed that as you were playing him last week.
Yes, thank God. That was awesome. I
Thank
mean,
God,
hey,
he says.
root for injuries, but in the circumstance, it was great.
Yeah, so Chris Meffam came in for him. And then Kelly and Kirkej, I need to keep an eye on this personally, as I have the left back in the Bournemouth team, and I don't think it's a nailed on position for either of those players. But depending on news, those players I think are the best defensive matchup this week to start. Do you agree with that or no?
I do. Yeah, I had Bournemouth up there too because of the double. Yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
And no, they have good matchups too, so I agree.
I agree. All right, next up. I don't know if this is controversial. I have Arsenal. They're playing at home against Brentford. I feel like we all know Arsenal is one of the best defenses in the league, and Brentford, while they did score twice against Chelsea, we do know that Arsenal is better than them.
We do.
Yep. I like how you laughed at that.
I'm with you there too. The only thing that comes to mind right now is how last season, the opening match of the 2022-2023 season, Brentford beat Arsenal.
Mm,
However, since then, Arsenal has won almost every game.
yeah. That was a good throwback.
Yeah, that
Impressive.
was the first thing that came to my mind. But yeah, Arsenal, the last 2 times they played each other, they won 1-0 actually, so it was pretty close.
Mhm.
But I'm still, yeah, I'm still going with that. I mean, Brentford have been scoring though.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
guess. They're one against who was it? They played against I guess they have been scoring, but no team as good as Arsenal. So I guess to get your input, the team I have next is Luton because
Mm-hmm.
they play twice. They have Crystal Palace and they have Bournemouth. They're not the best for clean sheets, but it's mainly Doughty who gets a bunch of attacking returns, and added on to the fact that they have another game in game week 28. So you would be basically prepping for not having a player
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah, there's really not many matchups this week that really
Stick
shout
out.
clean
Nope.
sheets. Yeah, they're all going to be pretty good battles. All right.
Yep, I agree. And with that, next up, I actually have West Ham against
Right.
Burnley.
Yep.
They also play again in 28, so I think they're valuable. I think their main players would really be Emerson. Mavropanos has been starting. Zuma and Sufal. I would probably rank their outside backs better than their center backs, though. But
Yeah.
James Ward-Prowse, I will say. Set pieces are always dangerous with them.
Let's go. Yeah, Sufal also had an assist, I feel like last week.
Hmm.
So yeah, no, I agree with you there too.
Yep. All right. Next up, I mean, like you said, not very many good matchups. I actually have Man U next against, and that's solely because they're playing Everton and there's not many better. Uh, but I think you had Luke Shaw. He's now, I think, out for most of the season.
Yeesh.
And I think Maguire's also injured, which, usually is a good thing for them, but I don't think it was this season. So Evans has been starting. I don't know. I think there's options to get into that defense, but other than after the top four, there's a pretty big drop off for me, to be quite honest.
I honestly don't trust Man U defense. I
Yeah,
like Luke Shaw because there's always a chance for him to either score or assist. And with him in the back, I'm a lot more comfortable. But especially with Man U, like not really knowing who's going to be starting, it's between Maguire, um, oh my God, I'm blanking,
Evan.
Varane
Yeah,
and
Evans
Johnny Evans. I don't love the center backs. Delo has been great. He's been playing well
gets
and
forward. Yep,
gets forward. But yeah, I mean, Everton just can't score to save their lives. So I guess I'm with you there.
I guess to get your perspective again, the next two teams I have ranked are Wolves and Fulham, who are playing each other. I think that's the most likely game to honestly be 0-0 here. And I
I
don't
don't know.
know, would you rather see? That's what I'm saying. I feel like Man U is a better option than those two, no? Against Everton?
Yeah, yeah, against only because it's against Everton. That's
Yeah.
the only thing I could, yeah, I'm with you.
All right. And for Wolves, if you do like them or Fulham, I think it's really Anthony Robinson, uh, and Semedo and Ait-Nouri, who we're not going to mention because you beat me with him.
Oh.
uh, I think the outside backs for those two teams I would really target. Uh, as Noah kind of insinuated, he's not sure if either team will keep a clean sheet, but I don't think many of these teams will keep a clean sheet this week. It seems like one of those weeks.
Yeah, let's hope for some goals this weekend.
Next up, next couple, I'll say a couple actually. Brighton against Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace against Luton. Crystal Palace are pretty far down here because they're playing against Luton, but Luton score. So
Hmm.
I don't think this is unwarranted. And then Brighton, I think they're kind of better, but again, like I don't even know if I would really target these defenders at this point. It's really the top five teams that I was mentioning that I would look at.
Yeah, especially with Brighton, what happened today against Roma.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right, Roma are better than Forest though. Maybe.
I no, I think they are, but Brighton have just been on a losing streak, like a bad losing streak the past three games they played.
Yeah,
All different leagues. But they haven't scored in the past three matches.
that's crazy, actually. And I blame Ferguson because he's out of form.
Has he even been playing? I don't know,
He
but
started the last two Premier League games ever since Joao Pedro got injured.
yeah, he didn't play or he didn't start at least today while Beck was up there.
I think he'll be starting.
He should be.
Yeah. Next up, two teams that we would normally, I think I would normally, and you would too, have at the top of our rankings. Liverpool and City are next for me in the what plot space are we at? 1, 2, 3. 11th and 12th places, just because they're playing each other. But either of these teams can really keep a clean sheet against each other, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I want to say it's going to be a battle in like 1-0. I don't know which way, or a ton of goals.
Yeah, I could see
Those,
both happening. But there are still two of the better teams is the thing, right? Like, for example, I don't know how much we have to talk about like the bottom five teams on my list, but it's Everton against Man U, Forest against Brighton, Burnley against West Ham, Sheffield United against Bournemouth, and then Brentford against Arsenal. I just can't see any of those teams really keeping a clean sheet, and they'll probably concede more than one.
hmm. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Speaking of though, the other four teams that I didn't mention before those bottom five are Spurs, who are playing Aston Villa, who are playing Spurs, and then Chelsea and Newcastle play each other. And I don't see any of those teams keeping a clean sheet, but I do think I would start the most attacking defenders like Udogi and Gusto, Livramento, who I'm going to mention because Trippier is injured now, uh, and then Matty Cash. I think those are all good picks, but I don't think I would necessarily start their center backs.
Yeah, Matty Cash I'm hesitant about because I have him
Yeah.
and I feel like he's just been unfortunate. Or just haven't hasn't been the number one choice. Every game he's played in hasn't done much and they've let up goals. He hasn't kept a clean sheet since game week 10.
Wow.
And it wasn't even Villa keeping a clean sheet. He just got subbed out before Luton scored.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't think I would even go for those attacking defenders.
Mm,
It depends. Like, I'm definitely not going to be picking up a Chelsea player to replace Chilwell.
yeah. I
And I
agree.
think there are enough options out there to get one of those defenders from the top five that we mentioned.
Yeah, that's kind of why they were 14th and 15th on my list. Like, I don't think like Newcastle's defense has also been atrocious. I think they have the most expected goals conceded in the past like 10 game weeks combined. It's just
Have the most
crazy to think about
expected
after
goals
last year.
conceded.
Yeah.
I love that stat. No, but yeah, like it feels that way. I don't disagree.
Yeah, they've been giving up 4 goal games for a while. Okay. I think we can transition to specific players. I'll go through goalies first. It's weird to suggest this guy after they just gave up 6 goals, but Sheffield started a new goalie in their last game and the game before in Gerbich. But I mean, you would have to be desperate at this point to get the Sheffield United goalie, no?
Yeah, or just not have a goalie, which is definitely a possibility in these 12-man leagues.
Yeah, that's true. Uh, I think the top two pickups, Neto and Kaminsky, obviously. Uh, Both have double game weeks and on lesser teams, so they might be available in smaller leagues. That's the Bournemouth goalie and the Luton goalie. And then I have two names. So Kelleher, Noah, if he's not picked
Hmm.
up, I feel like is good. Allison, I think, is red flag now. And Ramsdale, who got picked up last game week by the friend of the pod, who you've all met, Matt, because Raya cannot play against Brentford.
Yeah, I was talking to Matt when we were together last week, and I was like, "So you picked up Ramsdale, huh?" And he's like, "I did." And he started laughing because I didn't realize they were playing Brentford in like a few weeks. Or this week. So he started cracking up. And then a few minutes later, he came back. He's like, "Oh, wait. It's because they're playing Brentford." And yeah, not a horrible pickup
Nope.
for a week.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of mentioned some of the defenders already. I have written down the Bournemouth players. The Luton defenders, Doughty and Kabore, are probably the only two I would pick up. I think Kabore started their last game after coming back from AFCON for the first time. The West Ham defenders, the outside backs for Wolves and Fulham, I think, are the best chance at any attacking there because Robinson and Aït-Nouri and Semedo all get forward. Livramento, I think, is a pretty big one
Hmm.
if Trippier is out. And I mean, he scored, right? Yeah, he scored when he came on. So he seems like he's going to be pretty attacking for them.
Oh yeah, I think it was yeah. Yeah, no, he scored.
Why did you sound so apprehensive?
I'm trying to remember if I saw it. I mean, I don't like to downgrade any type of goal, but I think he was in just the right place at the right time. I think
No,
it could
he
have been the set.
no,
Go
he
on.
he dribbled and like tripped
Oh,
over and knocked it past the goalie.
it was the complete opposite of what I was thinking. It was an unbelievable goal.
Yeah, yeah.
That was, yeah, all right. You know what? Let's just scratch what I said. Keep it in there. Let's not cut it. But wow, it was like, yeah. No, and I've always liked Livramento. I had him when Dan Burn was out, and
Hmm.
then obviously dropped him. But yeah, no, I like him a lot.
Yeah. So let me get really quickly, before we move on to mids and forwards, let me get your input on uh Forest defenders, knowing that Brighton haven't scored in a while, and they play Luton in the next game week, where there are only four matchups. Uh, would you even consider them and like start them this week against Brighton?
Well, first I have to figure out at least one name of a Forest defender.
Hmm.
And maybe. I don't think I can name a single Forest defender besides Arya, who I don't even know if plays anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he does. Nico
Go for it.
Williams, Nico
Nico
Williams,
Williams, of course, of course.
and to follow is the other is like the left back. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I will.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
I think it's out of character for Brighton not to be scoring, so I'm not going to bank on their poor form because of that. Because Forrest, I mean, I don't think Forrest is very great on clean sheets either.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I can't remember the last time they kept one.
Oh, let's see. They actually kept a clean sheet three Premier League matches ago
Mm,
when they beat West Ham 2-0.
mm.
But other than that, yeah, they haven't in some time. So yeah, I'm doubling down on that. I don't think I'll be touching any Force defenders.
All right. I'm gonna list off some let's move on to midfielders. I'll list some off and get your opinion on how you might rank them. We've got Ross Barkley, got
Hmm.
Andreas Pereira. Both of those play in game week 20. I keep forgetting game week 29.
20. Oh yeah.
Uh Kulusevski might be available in a smaller league. I don't know. He's kind of shot in the dark. Tavernier and Clivert. So let's get your ranking of
Hmm.
those five.
Going to Vernier first.
Hmm. Even after you dropped him.
Yeah, he wasn't doing it. He used to be the guy you pick up, and if he plays, he scores, but
Yeah.
hasn't been fulfilling that pattern.
Yeah.
So I dropped him, and I think I actually it was a good drop I had for IU. Well, not the best. He did get
You
me 3 points.
you picked up IU? I missed that.
Damn, I get all your scraps.
Morris and IU. I don't think I picked up IU this season. I picked him up a
No,
bunch last year.
yeah, that's the only reason. There's a few players, we all have ties to a few players for
Yeah.
somehow just in our own minds. But yeah, picked up IU, only got me 3 points, but he did his job. Uh, oh yeah, I did not have him the game week before. But okay, yeah, Tavernier number one. I'm going Clivert number two.
Mm.
And then who else did you have? Ross Barkley and
Andreas Pereira.
okay, so then on number three, I'm going Pereira.
Mm. Wait, Barkley ahead of Pereira or after Pereira?
Let me start over. Oh wait, what are the five? Give me that one last one.
Barkley, Pereira, and Kulusevski.
Not in it. Great podcasting. But yeah, I'll reiterate. Tavernier number one, Clivert number two, Kulusevski number three.
Andreas number four, Barkley number five.
Yes.
So you have Barkley fifth, even though he has a double.
Yeah, I just it's Ross Barkley. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's got 3 goals and 4 assists.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm sticking with it.
All right. All right, we'll see. I have
Tell
some
me
other
yours. Come on.
what? Oh,
Tell
my
me yours.
ranking. Oh, I have Tavernier, Clivert, Barkley, or Tavernier, Barkley, Clivert, Kulisevsky,
Ah,
and Andreas. I guess we should have prefaced it's for like the next 2 game weeks. Uh, and Bournemouth don't even play, so it's kind of a skewed ranking. Um, I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe I'm just higher on Barkley than you are. It's kind of odd. I feel like we're normally switched where you like the players that are known to start, even though they might not score.
See, you're just backing up my My
Yeah,
take there.
I am
I don't
here because he's playing 2 games.
know. Yeah, I'm sticking with it.
All right. What about Awobi, Suchek, and Alanga? How would you what are your thoughts on those three?
I like Alonga. I'm gonna go, yeah, I like Alonga first out of them.
I think yeah, he's probably number one out of anybody I've mentioned so far, actually, because he is very attacking, forced play in both game weeks, and he's always dangerous. I think he's probably the highest scorer out of those players I mentioned anyway.
And Awobi. Yeah, I like Awobi too. It seems like he's getting back into it. I think, all right, no, he wasn't injured, right? He was just at AFCON.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm back. I mean, I've always liked Awobi. I just was, he didn't start his first game back, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Fulham has been hot, especially with that new guy,
yep,
Munez.
yep.
So, yeah, I like Awobi too. I don't know. I have some waivers in right now, and Awobi's not in there, but I don't mind him as a pickup.
Mm. Yeah, is he? Do you think he's number one on Fulham's list of midfielders if you wanted to pick one of them up?
That's tough. I mean, because who else we have? We have Wilson, we have Con
Willian.
Willian, Andreas De Cordova Reed, who's been scoring all the time, but hasn't been starting.
Yeah,
He got an assist in like the 88th minute last week. He
yeah.
played for just like 10 minutes, so I don't think he's worth it, but he does have the second most points for our league available Fulham midfielders. I think, yeah, I'm gonna go with Iwobi as number one Fulham midfielder, but I think we're forgetting one person.
Who are we forgetting?
Dama Traore.
Okay.
He scored. I mean, he got subbed in at the end, but
Yeah,
nah, not fantasy wise. It would be great though.
yeah. All
So
right.
many midfielders.
Yeah, I have one more name, Jacob Murphy. How are we feeling? He started the last game in place of Almiron.
Yeah,
Uh,
Almiron has not been looking good. He
yeah,
might be done. Who else? We got Isak, Gordon. I don't think I'd that interested in Jacob Murphy if Barnes and Gordon are healthy.
yeah.
I'm not even sure if they are. Yeah, I'm gonna say pass on Jacob Murphy.
Okay. All right, let's move on to forwards real quick. We already talked about Ferguson. I think he's pretty locked to start. If he doesn't, then De Zerbi needs to get fired. Uh, Semenyo, I think, is a very good pickup and is probably available because Bournemouth played twice and he scored in the last game. Uh, if Werner were available in our league, would you drop one of your forwards for him since Richarlison is somewhat injured, maybe on the way back, or would you just stay away?
I would. He's available in my other league, and I considered it. And in both leagues, it would have to be for Welbeck. So, yeah, I think I would.
Mm. So Werner over Welbeck for you. Is it just nature of the team and Ferguson's been the one starting in the Premier League games?
Just think Welbeck, he's been around for so long. He has like bursts where he does really well, but then when you watch, there's just some games he doesn't do much. I think he had like 5 shots
None
last
on
week.
target. Yeah.
Not on target. So that was, I mean, that's not a horrible thing to see, but I just don't trust him. I think Evan Ferguson, like this is about the time last year where Evan Ferguson started going off. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd lean towards uh Werner, but the Kulusevski thing too is makes me a little nervous. Has he
Yeah.
been injured or
Who, Kulusevski?
yeah.
No, he's been starting. He just doesn't really score anymore.
Yeah,
It's odd.
weird. Hmm.
Okay, so I think would you if you were wavering these players in Semenyo, Ferguson, Werner, how would you rank them? I think Semenyo would be first for me.
Yeah, I think Semenya just because of the double.
What about if we throw in Muniz and Beto, who started the last game for Everton?
All right, let's just put Beta at the bottom.
What? He scored.
I mean, he also
It's
missed the penalty.
yeah, it's Everton.
And it's a yeah, no way. Munez like number one,
Yeah.
like by far number one.
Yep.
And then Semenyo right behind him.
Okay. Did you have any other players that you wanted to mention? I'm out on my list.
Uh Origi
That
has been starting,
yes, I saw that.
but he just doesn't have the same impact not coming off the bench at the last 10 minutes
He
for
doesn't
Liverpool. So
yeah.
literally it only works for Liverpool. I Yeah, he was the only one I wanted to mention, but Awoniyi is like healthy and everything. He just hasn't
Yeah.
been playing much.
Yeah.
Weird. And wait, did Awoniyi did he come off early or did he sub in last game? I think he subbed in.
He subbed in one of the games. Let me double check which one that was.
I think it was
Yeah,
both. He only played 45 minutes against Villa in game week 26 and then 25 minutes against Poole last week.
yeah, I think he subbed out at halftime against Villa, which is very odd, and then he was a sub against Liverpool, which
Yes,
is
maybe he just had a little knock.
yeah, I agree. I think that was it.
Yeah, but Origi's the only one. Let me see if there's anyone else. I mean, we don't have any forwards available.
Chris Wood is now orange flagged, so that
Yeah.
might be something, but I don't think I would probably stay away from Origi to be honest. Like I would rather keep Ugbene over Origi for sure.
Oh no, never mind. I was about to ask you, what about Calvert-Lewin? Where would you throw him in there?
I mean, he hasn't scored since like game week 10 or something. I think I mentioned this on one of my solo episodes. So I would stay away. I mean, I'm ranking my three forwards of Ogbene, Jackson, and Ferguson higher than him. Uh,
Yeah.
Probably a lot of the forwards that we mentioned. Obviously, Muniz, probably Werner, and definitely Semenyo above him because you know they're going to play and they're actually going to score.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Did you have anything else you wanted to add today?
I do not.
All right. I think that's going to do it for episode 77, 78
78.
of the No Early GG's FPL Draft Podcast. Thanks everybody for listening.
It's coming down to the wire, everyone. And you know how close these matches are going to get when it comes towards the end. So please, no early GGs.
You're listening to No Early GGs.